Warley Woods in Smethwick and its dedicated band of 300 volunteers have been honoured with the King's Award for Voluntary Service. It's a great achievement for the Community Trust, which took over the running of the Humphrey Repton designed park from the council 20 years ago. Our correspondent Lucy Capassi has been behind the scenes to meet some of those who give up their time to make the 100-acre park such a special place.
A colourful autumnal display to rival any you'd find deep in the countryside. For many, Warley Woods is a peaceful retreat away from the busyness of modern life. Yet it's less than 4 miles from the centre of Birmingham. In 1906, after a successful campaign to stop houses being built here, the once privately owned land was opened to the public and named the People's Park. And it's people who are still at its heart. Now the Warley Woods Community Trust and its 300 volunteers have received the highest honour, the King's Award for Voluntary Service, the equivalent of an MBE.
We all live quite individual lives, and when you come and you volunteer here, whether it's delivering leaflets or being in the woods doing something physical, you get to talk to the people that you probably wouldn't normally talk to otherwise.
I think the bringing together of the community has been one of the most important things for me. People say this is our park, not just that's your park, it's our park.
When you're just raking up leaves or picking up litter and just enjoying being with people and sharing stories, and I've been doing it for 15 years now.
But not everyone's done it before or is local.
It's a beautiful place, and the work of the volunteers here, we're just blow-ins today, it's just wonderful. They're such a nice group. We live in Melbourne, but a place up the bush, and it's dry garden up there, so I just keep seeing all the leaves, because any leaf that you get is like gold. You save it and put it and mulch it. But here it's just like gold everywhere. I'd like to take some home in a suitcase.
Amanda Saunders moved here from Essex, and there was just one must-have.
The estate agents asked me what were my priorities, and never mind an ensuite bathroom, what I really wanted was to be really close to Warley Woods. And luckily the house of my dreams appeared, and I'm lucky enough to live opposite this beautiful, beautiful environment. The people have made me so welcome. I've really, really enjoyed being part of a group, and it's just given me that ability to be part of a new community.
During the pandemic, Arthur Ward created this tree nursery, which he now runs with the help of other volunteers.
The Woods was finding that the cost of buying in trees to plant in the woodland for our woodland management plan was becoming very expensive. Historically, there's always been nurseries on the site, but there wasn't one when the Trust took over. So we came up with the idea that we would grow our own trees for planting out in the woodland. We managed to get grants from Severn Trent and Cadbury's, and that provided the funds to buy the fencing and the water tanks and the water collection system. We don't use any mains water on site. It's all gathered from the sky essentially, and we use the tanks to water the trees throughout the year.
So you've saved the Trust tens of thousands of pounds then?
Well, we're hoping so when these trees move out. We haven't moved any out yet. We're nearly there. We're hoping within the next couple of years that the trees from here will be actually out in the woodland.
Litter is something that can cost a park a lot to manage, but not here, because volunteers sort all that too. Sandra Clark is here regularly with her dog Moose cleaning up, and it's something that's really helped her mental health.
It's mixing with people, which I wouldn't normally do. People are very friendly up here. The fact when you are litter picking, people are just engaging in conversation because of what you're doing. So, yeah, it's a nice feeling to give back.
So Viv, why does this award matter so much?
Oh, it really, really matters, just so much, because everything that happens in Warley Woods has happened because it's come from a volunteer. A volunteer's idea, a volunteer delivers it. So for all these years, over 20 years, people have been looking after Warley Woods. And so to have something that says thank you to each and every one of them is just perfect in our 20th year.
So what would the woods be without the volunteers?
It would physically be here. I don't know what state it would be in, but it wouldn't be as well looked after as it is now. It wouldn't have the events, it wouldn't have the activities, it wouldn't have Santa, it wouldn't have the picnic in the park, and it wouldn't have that kind of heart and soul that we think Warley Woods is for the community.
One of the more recent ideas to take off is the artisan market, which is growing in size every month.
We had a chat and decided to approach Warley Woods and ask them if they'd be interested. And they had a vote on it and snapped our hands off. I do all the markets. I speak to all the market traders and try and get them interested. I think when we started this market we had about 8 stalls just over 12 months ago. We're now up to 26 some weeks, and it's just growing and growing.
All the major decisions about what happens in the woods are made by a board of trustees. They too give up their time for free.
Satisfaction. And that's the truth. I mean, it's lovely. You're going round, you're seeing people, and they just give you joy back. And that's the whole point. And it's just lovely.
I love the involvement, if you like, because I don't have much of a family of my own. I don't have any children, so it's useful for me to come and engage with kids, which I love.
Do you see this award as being for anyone who's volunteered over the last 25 years?
Very much so. I think we have a terrific, as I've said, a terrific band of volunteers now. Back in the day, it was harder for people to have faith. We were an untried, untested organisation. There was some scepticism about whether we could take on running a park and a golf course. I think we were seen as a bunch of enthusiastic amateurs. It was great we had volunteers right from the start, and that showed the level to which the community is invested in the site, even though the site at the time wasn't very pretty. It had been run down, it hadn't been run terrifically well, it had a number of antisocial behaviour issues, it wasn't particularly pretty in places, it wasn't well used. It's about the faith that the community have shown in us taking on the park and by actively getting involved. So this award, which is fabulous, is for everyone.
It's a busy time. With the festive season fast approaching, the next big event to prepare for is Santa's visit. For those who've spent the morning outside, it's time for a cuppa and homemade flapjack as they take in the news of the King's Award. There's delight all round that the hard work behind the scenes over the last quarter of a century has been recognised at this People's Park to be proud of.